Most churches do a good job of planning what people will see and hear in our services, but many don't spend as much time planning what people will do in the service. Both the Bible and church history give us many tools to act out and participate in corporate worship, but we worship leaders either don't know those tools or we don't want to use them. We're like a carpenter hired to build a room addition, but we only show up with a pair of pliers. This video is part one of a little four-part series that will review some of these corporate tools. One video will cover the various postures and actions of worship. Another will give ideas for both corporate stillness and corporate prayer. And of course, one will address some tools related to music. But now, let's explore some orderly ways to invite your people to speak during worship. Invite your people to corporately read aloud. Take every opportunity to put truth into the mouths and hearts of your people. Corporately read a bit of scripture, like a piece of a psalm. Read a well-written, responsive reading, or a portion from a creed or a catechism. Read a verse from a theologically thick hymn. Try phrases of praise. Just have your people open their Bibles to the book of Psalms and find and read phrases of praise aloud, all together. Start different sections of your church in different places and then just have them thumb through and speak aloud the scriptural phrases of praise. It's fun. Ask your people to recite things from memory. This, of course, means you have to teach them. Recite any known creed, the 23rd Psalm, the Lord's Prayer, a theologically strong chorus, anything. In an increasingly pluralistic society, reciting reinforces your people's grasp of Orthodox Christianity. Invite your people to speak something significant when greeting one another. I'm going to be honest. I hate the greeting times in most churches. It just feels awkward, and I usually head for the drinking fountain. Now, I'm not advocating a return to the New Testament practice of kissing each other, but might we simply provide various phrases to acknowledge and celebrate one another, like peace to you, or the Lord be with you, or I pray you sense God's presence today. Repeating is not only an effective way of teaching, but it's also very moving when speaking statements of conviction. Invite your people to repeat phrase by phrase, like Romans 12:1, I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of Christ for salvation. And just lead them through phrase by phrase. Or Galatians 2:20, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live. Just take them through this scriptural truth with conviction. It's amazing. Try providing a line of response like, the love of Christ compels us. And then just dive into a litany of questions. Why do we serve the poor? The love of Christ compels us. Why do we forgive each other? The love of Christ compels us. Why love our enemies? The love of Christ compels us. Now, our people know a bit about God, so let's turn them loose. Invite them to recount aloud his attributes, his scriptural names, his promises, or his actions, or his mercies, or just to speak a word of thanks. Just give them example of how short you want it, like you are strong, you are mighty, and then step back from the mic and let the people speak out their worship. If your people are shy, prep your elders or choir to get things going. Treat your people's hearts and minds like a high-rent district. Worship leaders have the privilege of choosing some of the residents that will move in. So put truth into their mouths and hearts and minds. If you need more ideas, a great source for corporate speaking is a book called the Worship Source Book. It has a huge selection of very usable material, and it also comes with a CD of the entire digitally formatted book for easy printing or projection. Check it out at my website, roadmapsforworship.com. The next installment will provide some tools and ideas that involve various postures and actions of worship. If we are to love God with all that we are, we worship leaders need an entire toolbox of tools for corporate worship.